The views, takes and opinions expressed on this show are of the host's own and do not represent the views, takes and opinions of the Main Event Mark, PWPH Wrestling Network and its affiliates. Material and sources mentioned in this episode is for general and commentary purposes only. This episode might include strong language and may not be suitable for children. Listener discretion is advised. Stay safe and stay wrestle everyone. Welcome to the Main Event Mark.
Yeah, so welcome to your Unfiltered Tagalog Wrestling Podcast. This has been the Main Event Mark Podcast. My name is Angelo Penera here, and thank you very much for joining us here on this podcast. And every week, maraming salamat for joining and clamoring for episodes every week on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and the rest of your favorite podcast platforms. So, first thing foremost here on the pod, there's a lot of things that I need to say. And typically, I say a lot. No? Let's start with this. People on social media talks too much. And typically, they are bragging about opinions. No? They're really bragging about opinions. Dahil sa opinion nyo, opinion ko to eh. It doesn't really matter. Sometimes your opinion is not an opinion. It's a stance that you are trying to step in. And hindi ko siya masasabi na opinion just because you are having a stance that you are dealing with this guy. No? And you are trying to insist that you're right on this guy and on this family that you are defending at right now. But it doesn't mean that I need to brag on or to do some things about it or to make some arguments about it. You just need to understand the consequences of things that's been done during this term or this things that we are observing for a while now. And people are not understanding that. So, in context, let's share some information here. So, doon sa, I think I read this sa Al Jazeera, sa BBC, at sa iba pang iba pang platforms. Lalo na sa LinkedIn, tangina. People, especially itong mga DDS na to, they really love to talk about opinions, no? Pero hindi nila kayang magrespeto ng mga opinion na may opinion. Kasi they just wanted their opinions to be the proper opinions that needs to be said. Kasi sometimes parang hindi na ito yung opinion na need natin pag-usapan. Hindi na rin ito yung opinion that needs to be corrected, no? And hindi na rin to yung opinion that it should be opinion to begin with. Kasi hindi naman lahat ng opinion ay tama. Hindi rin opinion or hindi rin lahat ng opinion nagmamatter, 'di ba? Or hindi din natin malaman if the opinion if the opinion that we are getting is the opinion that you deserve. Depende na lang siguro if the opinion that you have is really that matter, you know. Pero ang argument ko kasi sa ibang opinion na to, hindi ko na alam eh. It's just people talking about opinions and people maybe addressing matters is sometimes yung mga opinion nyo itago nyo na lang, no? Yung ibang tao nga dyan na maka-opinion, ito kasi during the administration of Duterte, let's say the names na, no, para madali lang, context. During Duterte, the administration or the Philippines is very corrupted. You know that. And some people might not because wala naman silang pakialam dito. Dahil wala sila dito to begin with. So, anong pakialam nila if Philippines is that bad or it's not that great? But, ano bang pakiramdam ng iba dyan, no? But it doesn't really matter kung ano yung pakiramdam na magkakaroon or kung ano man yung gusto natin iparating. It doesn't really matter now. But like what we are discussing, kung ano man yung pakiramdam na meron ka, it doesn't really mean that things that should meant something or kung ano man yung pakiramdam na dinidiscuss natin noon is ano ba yung argument? Ano ba yung argument na gusto nilang ibigay? It's just really meant something. But it doesn't mean that it should be addressed properly. But keep in mind two things. Number one, hindi lahat ng opinion magmamatter sa'yo. And number two, hindi lahat ng opinion is pabor sa'yo. Magdedepende na lang lahat ng sinasabi natin ngayon if you really think you are on the pedestal. Hindi porket bata ka, mali ka na. Tingnan mo yung nangyari sa anak nung tangang kapatid na to ni B. Cortez, na konsentidor ni Villar. Hindi ko matansya. Tangina na pamura. Legit, as someone who experienced that before, na they're telling us na wala daw karapatan sumasaw sa politika. No. It's not the perfect time to disown politics. If we have a perfect time to disown people who doesn't have proper language or proper knowledge about politics, it should be now. Kasi ito na yun eh. We have the opportunity, we have social media. We need to prove that people that you are supporting, you are worshiping, doesn't give you a flying fuck about this business. But let's talk about that in the other day and other episodes also. But for now, marami tayong pag-uusapan dito sa podcast ko. Pero mag-umpisa tayo dito sa mga bagay na to. So, UFC. Sorry. Mag-umpisa tayo sa argument about UFC. So, UFC is planning to grab the rights of Netflix, no? The UFC will reportedly do anything or everything in their power to get a Netflix deal once their contract with ESPN expires at the end of the year. UFC is having issues with ESPN's technology, while ESPN is not happy with the pay-per-view numbers being way down. This is from New York Post. So, I would love to see that happen because alam mo yun, I am watching wrestling for a while now, and yes, sorry about that. We are watching wrestling on our platforms, as you may know, no? Sa Blast TV, if you have Blast TV, you can watch UFC there and the weekly shows. And if you are watching wrestling sa Netflix, then good for you about that, no? On that stance. Pero ang masabi ko lang dito, WWE on one platform should be the thing going forward. And especially with WWE going to Netflix nga in countries or around the world slowly, hindi natin masabi na ano lang ito isang labasan lang ito. Pero it will go eventually on that country for sure. Pero, iba rin yung pakiramdam that it really needs to integrate everything, especially with the ESPN thing, no? I don't like the ESPN thing, just like the AEW deals right now, no? Kasi AEW in their pay-per-views, it's being aired on trailer, putang ina trailer. Yung trailer, kaka-announce lang nila nung sa Amazon Prime na bibilhin mo yung pay-per-view aside from the pato dito. Bibilhin mo yung pay-per-view aside doon sa subscription. Then available pa rin siya sa pay-per-view as usual, and then soon on Max. And wala pa rin tayong makuwang info why these things are happening while we are getting confusing deals. Then here in Southeast Asia, we have a deal sa Spo TV now that you can buy the pay-per-view for $179. So that's a steal if you are from Southeast Asia at least. But regardless, it's EW, so depende na lang siguro sa'yo if that will matter. Ako kasi personally, things that should be considered about these deals are a lot of things, no? There's a lot of things that needs to be considered. If the fans really wanted to pay about a pay-per-view or a UFC pay-per-view, the fans will pay. Pero, kagaya nga ng sinasabi natin, hindi na masaya si ESPN about their pay-per-view buys. Dahil din yan sa mataas na pay-per-view ni ESPN. Keep in mind that every pay-per-view is $79 sa UFC. You can stream that for free here, just to let you know, Blast TV. Pero, regardless, if UFC was able to capitalize a deal with Netflix, then that should be a game changer in the long run, no? Pero, let's see how things will go from there. And kung ano nga ba yung magiging pakiramdam ni WWE once Netflix was able to cater UFC in the long run. So that's our UFC talk currently. So that's we are expecting for now. For now, let's continue some wrestling here. Ayun, first thing, follow the podcast on all of the social media platforms. Facebook, sa X, sa Instagram, sa TikTok, sa Twitch, sa iba pang social media platforms at Main Event Mark PW. Pasensya na kung di na gaano akong active sa X kasi I don't think my things are really matter when it comes to X kasi tawag dito, hindi na para sa akin ng X, especially if it's Trump or Elon Musk things. If there's a way to hide those things, I will reconsider X. Active pa rin naman ako sa X, but I don't really share my takes there anyway. I am mainly sharing it on my Facebook, sa IG, sa iba pang platforms ko. Not on X. Yan. Then, please follow the pod on all of the social media platforms at Main Event Mark PW. And for me, follow nyo naman ako, AG Penera, on all of the social media platforms. Okay, let's talk about wrestling. And since you are here for wrestling, I will talk about wrestling. Bear with me. Alam niyo, I'm still adjusting when it comes to my setup here, so apologize for that. I think this should be better. I have my mic. I'm just sitting here like an idiot. Ayun. So, let's talk about wrestling. So, before we move on, let's talk about the fallout of Raw. So, after nitong Elimination Chamber. Eto. So, we have the steel cage match between CM Punk and Seth Rollins. And the match was ended in a disqualification or a Seth win thanks to him escaping by Roman Reigns, help by Roman Reigns. Disqualification to na sasabihin ko. Sorry. Pero yan, I'm going to run down the card before we move on. We have Jey Uso beating Grayson Waller. It doesn't really matter that much to me. This is just a stopover for Gunther to attack him over, and it's amazing to me that they are setting it up, no? Then Logan Paul is calling out AJ Styles, and AJ is being covered by Logan Paul. Then it's amazing, man. It's amazing. And then we have, as discussed earlier, the tag match, the Tornado tag match, the Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee match was amazing, man. The New Day match, by the way. As I discussed last week, by the way, nalimutan ko na, din-discuss ko pala to. And then we have the Cody promo. Like what I said on the previous episode, hindi ako masaya sa takbo na to ni Cody. It's because kulang tayo ng John Cena. Same with SmackDown. I will discuss SmackDown in a bit. Then we have Bayley versus Raquel. I don't really think it matters. Then I like the booking of Io Sky here. I would say that for sure. That sobrang strong no booking ni Io Sky, and I love it. And let's continue with the steel cage match. I'll repeat what I said on the previous episode, that I love the steel cage match. I don't really meant that it's a match that's better than the Osprey match versus Kyle Fletcher. Both of the matches are better in their respective ways. I love the Kyle Fletcher Osprey match because it's a chaotic match, but it doesn't mean it deserves 5 stars for sure. The Seth versus CM Punk match doesn't deserve a 5-star either, but you can understand easily what is happening on this show. So that's definitely a better match when it comes to the storytelling. Then we have Roman attacking Rollins. He pulled him out of the ring, and then technically that's a win for Seth. And then he is beating him down. And then nung nakita ni Roman si Punk at si Paul Heyman, he also attacked Punk. And then, man, the story is just amazing as fuck. And I love that there's a lot of callbacks. There's a lot of things here. Then, next week, paalala lang guys, shoutouts muna kay Happy Dane, kay Dana for sharing our goods over on the time of Raw sa Blast TV, Netflix, and Top Sports. So, paalala lang that this week until the end of the month, nag-a-adjust po yung oras. So, Raw this week should air at 3 a.m. Same with the upcoming SmackDown. It's 3 a.m. then. 11 a.m. Ang first replay sa Top Sports. And then BOD is typically dropping at 2 p.m. Yeah. Yung Raw na parating, I'll do a preview on that in a bit. Gaganapin to sa Veldium. So that's good. No? And then mamaya pag-usapan natin yung mga debunk about Dave Meltzer. Ang dami nating i-debunk dito. Ang dami nating i-debunk dito sa episode na to because it's Dave. Of course, we are doing debunk. So next week's Raw or this week's Raw is going to take place live sa Belgium 3 a.m. Philippine time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. So that's interesting. So we are definitely looking forward to see how this Raw will go well. So 2025 Backlash was announced for May 10, that's Saturday, in St. Louis. So that's a good move for WWE and a new move either that they are not going to have a premium lab event outside of the United States. So yeah, basically that's interesting. Kung paano nga ba nila i-book si Cena down the line, no? Then Cena was also advertised on this show. And then medyo may signs na din that we are getting some progression for this event. Just bear with me. If Cena is going to win for the 17th, we should have Cena versus Orton for sure, no? And there are some signs also that we are getting that. Ayan, also reported by Fightful that sorry reported by Fightful that Jeff Cobb was on the WWE's internal memo or internal roster. So Jeff Cobb is apparently now on their roster. Just to let you know, Jeff Cobb is currently competing for the New Japan Cup. It's already in progress. Hindi nga lang tayo makapag catch up sa New Japan Cup. But yes, he is currently competing sa New Japan Cup. Then, he is also the FPW champion, just to let you know. And FPW is also having a show this week on Bake Studios. Their tickets is still available if you wanted to watch on Bake Studios sa Makati. And then, April 5, Master Clash sa WO. Yan. So, there are some news that we have currently. Yan, sorry. Like what we mentioned earlier, there are some debunks that was made this week. Kaya sobrang saya din talaga ng Wrestling X, totoo lang. Kahit gusto kong i-deactivate na yung X ko for good, hindi ko talaga kaya. Kasi there's a lot of hilarious things that's happening on X na hindi mangyayari sa labas ng X. Like Dave Meltzer. Dave Meltzer is fooling himself again. And we are gonna talk about that in a bit. And there's a lot of clips that's actually spreading out throughout the internet that we will tackle in a bit properly. And then, I'm just going to double check the information here. So, John Cena and The Rock shockingly joined forces at the Elimination Chamber earlier this month. And then, Russell Bolts reported this week on their backstage pass, that one of the potential names that was discussed for the team of Rock and Cena is the Rock and Soul Connection. And Brian Gewirtz mentioned, and it's associated with The Rock, by the way. There's a lot of Gewirtz things that we're going to discuss later. Wala naman daw nangyari, o wala rin daw announcements about this thing. So that was debunked. Your sources are drunk. If that was a really good idea, or that was a official idea, it will be something of a reference to other teams involving Rock and his family. For one, The Rock, hugely popular with Mankind, was known as the Rock and Sock Connection, and then the Soul Patrol also. Then, The Rock previously told Cody Rhodes that he wanted him to sell his soul, and he said no. Okay, so that's the case. Then, I'm not gonna talk about this things that Dave talked, because we know it's a lie. I'll skip that. So, that's it. Let's talk about... sorry, I crossed out a big development there. Sorry, just bear with me. I will talk about NXT Roadblock, since there's a lot of things that I need to address about this show. No, NXT Roadblock. Overall, that was amazing to me. I really love the vibe of the show. I really love the show as overall, no? But overall, this show was a complete package, no? A complete package that I think I will love for sure. So that's why I really love this overall presentation of NXT Roadblock. And on this day also, there's a lot of there's a lot of bullshit that Dave Meltzer is spreading out about the WWE ID, no? There's a lot of news that he is spreading out. Then, tong owner ng GCW is debunking Dave. Mamaya, pag-usapan natin yan in a bit na mas mahaba pagkatapos itong preview natin for NXT Roadblock. So, first thing, I love the vibe of NXT Roadblock. Ang ganda ng venue, no? Sorry. The venue was in the theater at Madison Square Garden. Typically, boxing yung hiniheld doon, no? So, it's a new vibe for that venue. And I know also that there are some wrestling events that was held before in the theater at Madison Square Garden. So, let's talk about this now. NXT Roadblock. Wait lang, nangungulangot ako. Ayan, so first thing, we have Praxium versus the Hardy Boys TNA Tag Titles. The match was amazing as hell, man. I love this match. The vibe of this whole show, sobrang electric niya. Ang ganda. I hope we can see a pay-per-view on this venue. Anytime this year, no? I hope we can see one at least. And then, eto. So, wait lang, yung ilong ko. Grabe. Again, ulitin natin. Yung venue na to, so good. Tangina, sakit ng ilong ko. Bayan. Hindi ko matanggal. Okay. Mamaya na nga. Ayun. So, nangungulangot ako. Tangina, nababara yung ilong ko. Okay. So, let's talk about NXT Roadblock. So, the Hardy Boys versus the Fraxium for the TNA Tag Titles. I am really expecting this to happen, no? Because, may sacrifice din later this week. And both of them are actually competing on the show. Matt and Jeff, mainly, no? And we will talk about a big development on that show in a bit. But let's focus on Roadblock. Sorry, nalaglag na. Yan. So, Roadblock was overall an amazing show to me. And I really love the idea also that again, the show held on this venue. Ang ganda, ang dilim. Iba yung vibe compared sa Raw or SmackDown. This was amazing. Then, Axiom sa moon assault from the top rope to the floor. That was amazing as well, man. Tapos, yung pakiramdam kasi natin every time we are watching a Matt and Jeff Hardy match, it was surreal, no? And hindi tayo nadidismaya na ma-impress with this type of matches. And, yun. I could not say a bad thing about this PLE, to be honest. Walang bias. Pero, wala. This is such a really good match. This is such a really good PLE. Small PLE, if you ask me. Then, Roxanne Perez versus Jordynne Grace. Ito isa pa to. This not my favorite match of the night, but this match was a destiny to me that the NXT Women's Division is really that great, no? I know this was a short match if you are asking me, but this match might work more as an opener instead, kasi parang mas naramdaman ko na deserve nito mag-open kaysa doon kina Matt and Jeff. I know the match that we just saw a few minutes ago was that explosive, then we got this, parang iba yung pakiramdam, no? Then we have Jordan defeating Roxanne. That was perfect as well. Then we have the NXT title match, Moose versus Oba Femi. Then we are taking notes that Moose's title is not on the line, so a little bit sad about that. But yeah, okay. Moose was clearly made for this. I would say that at least. As a fan of Moose, I really love his growth here in TNA and NXT partnership. Yes, we love also his run during the AEW partnership for sure, like what we are glazing here on the pod. Pero this really hits different. The entrance, the aura of Moose during this partnership is just amazing. It never fails me to be amazed. Then, the match was really short for me. I am not really into it for long. Medyo nabitin ako. I wish we can get this match one more time, at least in a TNA pay-per-view or a NXT PLE. I hope we can get one more time between those two. I swear, they're going to give us more time for meat. But the match was amazing. Not really expecting a change here. So that was great. That was a really great match for Moose and Abba Femi. And I'm glad also that they really protected Moose here because he is the X Division champion, also defending the title on Sacrifice pay-per-view. So that's great. Then Ethan Page versus Javon Evans street fight. Ito parang grabe to eh. Alam mong hindi ka madidismaya sa dalawang to eh. Pagpalit-palitin mo to si Ricky Starks, Ricky Saints, Javon, si Ethan Page, pagpalit-palitin mo tong tatlong to, I swear to God, hindi masasayang ang oras ba sa panonood basta tatlo to. They are amazing talents. And I hope Triple H, Shawn Michaels can take advantage of those three people in the long run. Because malaking kawalan pag pinakawalan mo tong tatlo to. In this case, Javon and Ethan Page, they gave us a banger for sure. And I really wish that we can get a solid ender. And that's what we got. Yeah. Finally, Julia versus Stephanie Baker for the NXT Women's title. So this is basically a face-to-face match and a title per title match. That was shocking as hell. Ganda mag-book ng title for title match. I think this might be the best title for title match in a long time. Okay, so both of them really went to the challenge. If Julia was really injured, I hope she will be able to recover, and if not, I hope we can see her bounce back. And that was amazing match. That was an amazing match. Hindi rin siya overbooked. Hindi rin to yung AW match na puro near falls, puro finisher. Nagki-kick out pa rin at 1. And that was amazing match. That was an amazing match for sure. Then, parang ito yung pay-per-view talaga na literally might shock the whole card that you are expecting for Stand and Deliver. But overall, NXT Roadblock might be one of my favorites so far when it comes to NXT this year. Pero medyo nabitin ako sa ibang matches. And I hope that we can see more of Baker. I hope we can see more of Julia for sure. And yeah, I think that should be it. But yes, I hope we can see more of the card. I'll discuss hindi na ako makapag-discuss ng WrestleMania card because obvious na obvious na tong mga nakukuha natin na WrestleMania card So, let's run down the WrestleMania card later. For now, let's discuss Dynamite. And I know people are disgusted for this. I'll discuss this later also. Okay, Dynamite. Okay, tangina. Ang hirap umadjust ng mic. Okay, Dynamite was, I would say, a letdown compared dun sa show that they have. Yes, I said Revolution was a meh, but I never said that it was a bad pay-per-view. And itong show na to, Dynamite, was really bad. Was really bad, I would say that. Walang nabago, walang progression. Okay, let's talk about the show. We have a tournament. Another tournament. Tangina, lagi na lang may tournament sa AEW. So, we have a Dynasty Eliminator match. Then, we have... wait lang. I'm going to check the tournament. I'm trying to check the tournament. So, the Ops match, not gonna talk about that. For sure. So, here's the tournament. Oh, wait. I cannot wait to talk about this. So, a Street Fight rematch was announced between Cope and John Moxley. Tangina. Why we're still getting this match? Cope clearly lost at the pay-per-view. We don't matter if it's a three-way, a one-on-one, he still fucking lost. Bakit tayo nag-i-insist that this pay-per-view is working? Why we are still insisting that this is working? Why we are on the idea that this pay-per-view was pointless and now we are getting these things? No? Like, ano pang nangyayari kay Tony Khan? What's wrong with Tony Khan? Why we are really fooling about this thing, no? Kasi I am really frustrated on what the hell is happening. Why we are really fooling about this whole show. But it's really funny to me that, man, such a bullshit thing to say, but why we're still getting Moxley versus Cope? Why we are still putting it down? Like, what the fuck? We don't need to see that match again. We don't give a flying fuck about that again. Why we're still getting this? Like, come on. Why we're still getting this match? No, this is bullshit. Sorry, I have to say this as it is. This is bullshit. If Mox is going to retain, that might be worse. That might be worse for sure. And yes, let's talk about the whole card for sure. So, I'm not gonna discuss that three-way match or trios match. Then, I'm not gonna discuss this tag match. Harley is back being Harley Graham. I don't really buy that thing. Sorry. It's not my cup of tea. Then, we have Megan Bayne challenging Toni Storm for the NXT or for the AEW Women's title. That's really good to me. NXT tuloy nasabi ko, sorry. But yeah, that's time for sure to get new challengers. But the problem here with Megan Bayne, but parang hindi pa siya nag-explain. She never explained herself. Ayan, she never explained herself on TV. Hindi niya in-explain yung debut niya, hindi niya in-explain yung presentation niya, hindi niya rin in-explain bakit siya andyan with Penelope Ford. Hindi. She never explained to us. Why we are expecting explanations, by the way. It's AEW. Then, Toni Storm, by the way, it's amazing to me. And, okay. Tony Storm shooting on Moxley is just funny as hell. Okay. Then we have Beast Mortos versus Mike Bailey. Another toy, I guess. But Speedball, I would say. He's an amazing wrestler. I love Speedball. But he's not gonna move the ratings for sure. Hindi siya makapag-move ng ratings. Yan, for sure. He will not do everything, for sure. Then we have ano tawag dito? We have this patriarchy teasing up a split. Then Christian Cage tried to excuse his loss at Revolution. Then Nick Wayne said Christian was lying and owed the patriarchy an apology. Then the patriarch ran down Wayne for questioning him. And man, Christian Cage is amazing as hell. But please, we want to see more of Nick Wayne actually being against Christian Cage. Eto, isa pang things that I don't get. Hurt Syndicate wants to recruit MJF, and obviously this might be declined. This might be declined for sure. I don't need to see MJF again with an alliance. That's what I need to assure, no? But if we are looking to see MJF feuding with Lashley, feuding with Shelton, let's go. That's what we're looking for. Then we have also this Max Caster challenge again. Yeah, I cannot wait to see more of this. Then I don't care about Jericho, so let's skip that. Will Ospreay is entering the Owen Hart tournament. We don't know where this tournament will take place, and obviously we might see Ospreay winning the thing para mag-challenge sa AEW title. All in Texas, they are already teasing All In for sure. It's a smart thing to say, but that was a little bit early, I would say, to announce this type of things for sure. Then we have the main event, Orange Cassidy versus Hechicero. For the match, then the winner will face Speedball. The match was fine. I don't really expect a lot. The tournament was pointless to me. I don't really give a flying fuck about the tournament. The Eliminator tournament. So, Sacrifice. Let's talk about real quick about Sacrifice. Sami Callihan lost to Mance Warner. That was a really good match. Tessa Blanchard versus ano ba tawag dito pangalan nito ni Xia Li, Li Yingli. That was fine. That was fine to me. I don't really see special about it, but that was a really good match. I really love to see more of Saya or Lee, but I wish we could see more of that. Then we have also the Lucha Rolls tag match. Ace Austin and the Rascals versus Wesley, Tyson Dompont, and Tirek Igwe. Ayun. So, this match was chaotic. That was fun. I don't really see a big thing here. I'm really glad that the Rascals versus Wesley is still a thing in the TNA. That's good. Then we have Frankie Kazarian versus Steve Macklin. Steve Macklin defeated Frankie Kazarian. Then we have a handicap match. Spitfire versus Ash and Heather by Elegance and George Iceman. So, it's time to drop the belts. For sure. And yeah. Elegance won the tag titles. That was fine. That was silly. That was silly for sure. I'm Ito. I would say this. Ashby Elegance, Dana Brooke, whatever it is, finally she won a big one. And she deserves it for sure. She really deserves it. I hope we can see more of Dana Brooke, Ashby Elegance down the line. Mustafa Ali defeated Mike Santana in a match that was really good also. The silly ending ruined it, but that was amazing. Masha Slamovich versus Cora Jade. They had a really good story here. That being TS and TNA, and also on NXT also. But that was flat. That was flat. Then we have Moose versus Jeff Hardy. The match was really good to me. Medyo safe lang siya. Medyo feeling ko it was a match that was safe. Then we have Moose retaining without help. Might be an unsurprising thing, but no, with help for sure. Thanks to obviously we have Alicia Edwards. Then we have a steel cage war that we are having. I hope we can get a lockdown this year. The System and the Colons versus Joe Hendry, Elijah, Matt Hardy, Nick Nemeth, and Leon Slater. The match is basically your lockdown without lockdown rules. Basically war games in a cage. The steel cage was fine. I don't really think that was a special match, but here's the kicker. After the match, Matt and Nick Nemeth were about to leave the cage, and then Ryan Nemeth is locking the cage, and Nick Nemeth hits the danger zone on Matt. That was the zigzag, and then the crowd, as in, was stunned. And then Ryan Nemeth is beating the living hell out of Matt Hardy with his hands. And then the rest of his team are trying to return to the ring. And then they are beating the living hell out of Hardy for sure. Medyo ang hindi ko na ano dito. I'm glad that we are getting a turn for Nick Nemeth without turning on Nick or Joe Hendry for sure. That was a really good thing. But is this a turn para mag-challenge ulit siya sa TNA title? We will find out. But ako kasi ang pinagtatakahan ko, at nag-turn na siya ng Genesis noong January pa. But nung pumasok si GDL sa picture, especially with him challenging for the TNA belt, akala ko doon na talaga siya mag-turn. Pero hindi pa. So, if ang turn is mangyayari thanks to that, it would not make sense. So, they made the turn here para mag-make sense siya. Kasi he is being disrespecting Ryan Nemeth. And then, that was the setup. And then, definitely, Nick Nemeth and Ryan Nemeth is going to win the tag titles here for sure. And, I will agree also that, as Dolph, mas okay talaga na heel si Ryan Nemeth or si Nick Nemeth. I don't care about Ryan Nemeth. Yan. That's for sure. Sacrifice was amazing to me. That was a really good show. And that's it. For me, at least. That was amazing show to me. Lex Luger, in case you missed it, was already inducted or set to be inducted to the Hall of Fame. There are some changes that was made on the Hall of Fame. It will take place on April 18 at the Fontainebleau, Las Vegas. And hindi na to ma-attach sa SmackDown. People doesn't like the idea of the Hall of Fame immediately following SmackDown. So they decided to take this event still after SmackDown, but in a different venue. So that's the case there. Then we have SmackDown, just to run down SmackDown. We have a new tag champions in Street Profits. That's amazing to me. That was a really good match. Then that was a long overdue for sure for Street Profits to win the tag titles for a while. Pero ang weird lang kasi they are faces here again. Or they are just trying to be more intense baby faces, I guess. But I hope we are really seeing just a face para lang matapatan ng dalawa. But let's continue. Gunther vs. Axiom was amazing to me. That was a really good match between Gunther and Fraxium. Like what Gunther mentioned, he just wanted to make an example for a wrestler out from Spain, and he brought Axiom for a match, and that was amazing. No, then we have here dito. We have here Orton versus Carmelo Hayes. Again, another match that was really good. Yes, it was silly, but that was a really good match. Damian Priest versus Shinsuke Nakamura, that was ended by disqualification. That was really good to set up the feud at WrestleMania. And then we have Cody Rhodes on Miz TV, like what we mentioned. This was another match that I find pointless, or another segment that was pointless to me. Yes, Cody is amazing on mic, I would say that, pero it's more on a filler for sure, no? Pero I really wanted to see the Raw episode this week para mas malaman natin ano nga ba yung magiging feedback ko after nun, no? Then The Miz hilariously mentioned John Cena as a really good rapper. Was hilarious to me. Then Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair brawled after of that match between B-Fab and Charlotte Flair. And sobrang sayang nito ni B-Fab, no? She's charismatic as fuck. But ito yung problema ko. B-Fab is charismatic as fuck. Pero parang ina-expose kasi natin tong si B-Fab na hindi siya garong experience sa ring, no? But I hope we can see more of B-Fab. But yun, that really exposed her for sure. Then we have this Jade Cargill Liv Morgan segment, or Cathy Kelly. But before that, after that, we got Liv Morgan interrupting. Jade is improving on her promos, I would say. Mas okay siya na ganito yung setup ng promos niya. I really love the setup for the promo. And I think it was an appropriate promo shoot, I would say, that she's attacking Naomi on her things that she said previously. Then we have the 6-man tag, LA Knight, Braun Strowman and Jimmy Uso defeated Solo, Jacob, and Tama Tonga. Pero tangin na, LA Knight getting the biggest crowd chance on this day was amazing to me, man. It never fails to be amazed for sure. But okay, it's time for our final thing to talk about here on this week's episode of the pod. What we are just witnessing here. I have here the Pro Wrestling Times tweet. That was hilarious. They are mentioning this. Dito? We are again mentioning that. Wala sisip ko. Yung Harley Graham segments. That was shit. Every time I see a fun AEW clip, the comment section is full people AEW. Why do so many people spend so much time following a product they supposedly hate? Because they took That was stupid, for sure. Tangin na Oh my god. That was hilarious. Okay. So, it's time to talk about Dave Meltzer. Oh shit here. Alright, so Dave Meltzer on the Dave Meltzer Said What Twitter account or X account. We have this things. So Dave Meltzer edited the Observer to delete his fake news WWE ID story, and he doesn't want he don't miss the print edition today. So wait, just a second. Can I drink some water first? Okay. So Dave was debunked on the WWE ID thing. So, wait lang. Hanahanap ko yung mismong tweet. Yan. Kuha ka na. So, with WWE talent, the deal, according to a contract, is that Gabe Sapolsky puts their matches together and gives the script to the promoter who has booked them. The promoter pays the talent and can push. The talent comes from WWE. WWE covers the travel costs with a stipend cost, and the promoter pays the difference if the travel costs are larger than the stipend. It was community debunked by X, by both Brett Lauderdale and also by Defi Wrestling. So there's two tweets there that was debunked, and Seda Steel also said, "What?" Oh my god, Dave. Halatang wala talagang touch when it comes to wrestling. So must be a slow news day for sure. So let's address the thing. So Brett Lauderdale addressed this thing. So number one, Gabe doesn't put the matches together. That palang wala na eh. I've never seen or heard of a script. We are allowed to push WWE talent on talent announcements, but we don't. And not aware of any travel stipend or travel share, but that will be cruel. No, it was the bunk. And then, may nag-question dito, galing kay Tycon, do they have a say if they go over or not? Or if out of your discretion? It was mentioned by Brett that no, there has never been a discussion about winning or losing, and if they're never asked, dictated, requested, or solicited anything when it pertains to WWE ID. There is no distinction or separate rules for ID versus ID match. Oh my god, Dave. WWE ID was fucked when it comes to Dave. So, Meltzer said what? It was mentioned here. Breaking. Dave Meltzer is a liar. Oh my god, it was community noted, man. And Defi Wrestling said, Brett is spot on. If you're still... Okay, I'll say this from the bottom of my heart. Sincerely, if you are still noting a post from Dave Meltzer, kahit ano pa yung page mo, kahit malaking page ka pa, sa Pinas man o sa labas ng buong mundo, if you're still noting Dave Meltzer on your page, paki-fold na po ng page nyo. Ako na po nakikiusap. Please fold your fucking page, hit the bricks, and wag nyo nang i-activate yung page nyo. I'll say that again. If you're still relying on Dave Meltzer reports or news, paki-fold na po ng page nyo. Hit the bricks. I don't care if you're earning on your page. I don't care if you're doing shit on your page. If you're relying on Dave Meltzer's shit, please fold your page. Hit the bricks immediately. Thank you. So, okay. So, balik tayo sa tweet ni Meltzer said what? Naka-attach dito that when it comes to the WWE ID talent, the deal according to a contract that it's that they Gabe Sapolsky, I said earlier na pala, it was debunked. Then, Dave Meltzer has edited the Observer to delete his fake news WWE ID story. And then, imagine, man, if everyone was actually seeing this, man. Okay, so, the absolute state of these Limey Carnies and the goal they have to call anybody else grifters. Dynamite Dave prints a fake news rumor and innuendo story about WWE ID. He immediately gets debunked by multiple promoters. He then deletes it from the Observer. Oh my god, Joe Lanza did a breakdown. Tangina, he's basically asking to sign up for a page. So, that was fooling as fuck. Okay, so here's an interesting part. So, Dave, any word on the WWE ID thing where you're given wrong information or there are different standards for different promotions? Joe Lanza did a breakdown. So, that's from a different promotion there. It's asking people to sign up for a page. I asked a simple question. I'm assuming there's a different standards for different promotions and situations, which isn't so surprising. Can you confirm that at least? Then there's Voices of Wrestling news update, ID clarification, and it was going to ask you for sign for a Patreon report. Oh my god. Okay, so that's it. And okay. Tuloy ko sabihin ay sinabi ni Meltzer said what? And completely no sells it and doesn't acknowledge it on yesterday's Observer Radio. Dave then gets called out on it, and instead of acknowledging his lies, he is directly asking the people to pay Joe Lanza and the Voice of Wrestling Patreon to get exclusive details of his lies. So that's why we don't trust. We don't trust Dave Meltzer. I don't trust Dave. And that's garbage, man. He's a fraud. I would say that. And I'll say it again. That was fraud. Okay, last thing before we cap the episode off here. I have an episode here, or a thing here that I find hilarious. But you guys need to listen to this because it's hilarious. Kasi he is breaking down the ratings for AEW on Max. But hindi niya ma-breakdown ng maganda. So, take a look on this. It's from Wrestling Observer Radio, March 14, 2025. Bear with me.
It's actually up. So, I think, like NFL, because the NFL TV audience never drops. It's actually up. So, I think that they're, when it comes to them, whatever it was, I think Super Bowl was 90%. Television, 10% streaming. I think that was basically it. So, and I really think AEW, it's less than that, in the sense of it's well under 90%. No proof, just my hunch. So, and NBA probably 10%. I think I've even heard that said somewhere. I mean, that's why I think like 10% is bare minimum. I think wrestling on a percentage is probably going to be higher. I know WWE, claimed, what was it, 39%? for Saturday Night's main event. Which so if they're at that level, then that's really significant. But I think that, like I said, I think wrestling fans are more apt than NBA fans and NFL fans.
Yeah, I'd have to think about that.
All right. That was hilarious. So Dynamite Dave Meltzer meant that his no proof, just my hunch guess was a higher percentage of wrestling fans streaming AEW on Max over NBA and NFL because that's only his ranch. Oh my God, Dave. Putang ina. Okay. So, relate lang po natin ha. Hindi po totoo yung away ni Jade at saka ni Shayna Baszler. So, also mentioned here, Dave made a blow-by-blow details about the Jade Cargill drama and yet hasn't heard a single word from Camille Status on AEW. Like, mas nakuha pa natin yung information about other bullshit. But that was bullshit, man. That was BS. I'm not gonna discuss the star ratings here for sure. Pero, ito. Tangina, wala akong masabi dito. But, Hologram versus the Realistico, to say that match over-delivered is like understatement of the year. That was fun. The match was fantastic. Oh my God, Dave. That match was bad. Oh my God, Dave. I am not sure why these things are just coming to your head. But that was hilarious as fuck. Like, why we're still insisting that everything AEW does is amazing, but everything WWE is doing is bad as fuck. That's hilarious. And why we're still insisting that everything AEW is doing was a really good idea to begin with, and even though mag-insist pa tayo ng gantong ideya, hindi rin maganda in the long run. For sure. Diba? Ayun na nga eh. That's the problem of AEW really insisting with the idea that I think it might work on something, but it will never work in the long run. So that's the case there of AEW Dynamite. But yeah, what I discussed, that was a really good show. Thank you very much for listening on the episode of the Main Event Mark. We'll come back here with a smaller episode later this week. I'll talk about LFG and WWE Evolve. We're going to talk about that later this week here on the Main Event Mark. Please follow the podcast on all of the social media platforms, Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, all of the social media platforms at Main Event Mark PW. And then we will talk about more of wrestling later this week on the pod. And yung LFG nga and Evolve. Ayan. So, please support local wrestling. Local wrestling is now on Thriller TV if you want to support our local wrestling. So, that's on Thriller TV DexCon. All of their shows last year is now on Thriller TV. And yes, thank you very much again, Thriller TV, for bringing our local wrestling to life through Thriller TV easily. So, like what we mentioned, we will come back here on the pod to talk about LFG and WWE Evolve. Again, my name is Angelo Penera from the Main Event Mark Podcast. For now, stay safe, stay wrestle, and see you later.